Good evening, everyone. My name is Debbie Singleton, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I come to you live Monday evenings, 7 p.m. Arizona time, and I bring you usually just a card to make and show you how to make it, and we go over any happenings within Stampin' Up! And you know what? I did not check online to see anything new, but I do have some things to share with you, some things that are happening and going on. Hopefully, everyone had a great weekend. It was Valentine's on Saturday. So, hopefully, everyone had a happy Valentine's Day and everyone had a great weekend and a great day today. So, we got the opportunity to watch all of the grandchildren on Friday night. My daughter and son in law were at a dinner. So, my son in law was in a wedding on Valentine's Day. Isn't that just a funny thing? So he was in a wedding. So they went to the rehearsal dinner on Friday night. So we got to watch all the grandkids. So we actually have three grandchildren, but we have a granddaughter that is not really ours, but she comes and goes. And so she was there this week also. So we got to see her, and it was very nice to see her. So we had four of them. So we're like, okay, well, we can't really take them all out and go do something with them because four of them is a bit much. So we're like, what do we want to do with them? So we thought, oh, a pizza party, that would be super fun, and maybe take them all out for ice cream afterwards. So pretty much that's what we did. That was like the hit of the night. Pizza party and ice cream. They were super excited about that. So that's what we did. We went over to their house. We ordered pizza. We went and got pizza, brought it back. We ate pizza. They kind of played around. And then after they ate pizza, they played around in the yard. And it was so nice actually out on Friday. Then we went and loaded them in the van and took them to Baskin Robbins 31 flavor and let them pick one scoop. And they got to have ice cream, and they just thought that was amazing to have ice cream and enjoy that. So that was so much fun for us. And then we came home, washed them all up because, of course, they're all sticky messes, which is so much fun to watch them do that. They had so much fun just doing that, having pizza and ice cream. That actually turned out really nice, and we were happy to do that. And that was so enjoyable. And then we don't usually do much for Valentine's because you have to make reservations so far in advance. And we're like, yeah, we're not going to do any of that kind of stuff. But good evening, Mom. Glad you could join. So I mean, we actually had a nice time, and that was very enjoyable for us. And then they went and did the wedding. My son-in-law was in the wedding on Saturday, and I think their in-laws watched all the kiddos Saturday. So I don't know what they did. That was really fun. And I've been working on my card class. So I'm having card class this Saturday. So if you are interested in attending a card class, we make 8 cards and envelopes. And this Saturday, my theme is spring/Easter. So we're going to actually make a few Easter cards and spring cards. And then I'm just going to throw in there a birthday card and then just kind of a I think it's not really, I don't remember what the saying is. Probably like a hello or something card, but kind of it's a spring looking card. So, but I decided not to do all of them Easter. Last month I did all Valentine's cards. So I decided not to do all of them Easter cards, but I decided to do a little bit of a variety. Throw in a couple of birthday and a couple of just other cards. But you do make 8 cards and you do make 8 envelopes. So that's this Saturday. If you haven't signed up, there is still a couple slots available. Let me know and we can get you signed up and get you going. Next month, I'm not sure what the date is. I believe it's going to be probably before we go away again. We're going away again. So I think it's going to be, um, so we're going, well, we're not going away, but someone's coming into town. and they're here for like the first part of March. Yes, and then we're going away the end of March. So it's probably going to be like on the 21st again, because that way it gives me time to, well, yeah, it's probably going to be March 21st will be my next one. So again on the 21st. So if you're not able to come this Saturday, maybe the Saturday of March 21st, you'll be able to come. And I probably won't really have a theme for that one. I probably will just do some general cards, and I'll pick some things we have a March launch for online exclusives coming out. So that'll be super excited. I haven't picked anything out of the March launch because I have been so busy getting ready for this, and I've been so busy with the grandkids. So I will be picking some stuff to order and using that as our probably March cards that we're going to make. Okay, so bonus, when you got your bonus days and you earned your coupons, be sure to redeem them by February 28th. If you haven't and you need help, let me know. I can help you do that. This month's paper is really pretty. It is the product of the month. You spend $75 and you get the product of the month, which is paper, 12 by 12. It's 12 sheets, 3 each of 4 double-sided designs. It's just this kind of like wavy kind of, it looks really pretty. So $75 or more, and it's only cost you $5 to get that. And another exclusive, you join my team, and I would love for you to join my team. You get to this free Stampin' Positioner, and I haven't even, we got to pre-order this, and I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. I have been so super busy. But it was kind of like our, oh my goodness, I even have it sitting here because I took it out and I was going to use it and I didn't use it. But the old, I forget what the name of it is. Anyway, so the Stampin' Positioner is this plate, and you put the grid paper on these little holes, and then you align the paper up on these holes, and then you align this small plate up on here, and you are able to use the magnets to hold the paper down, and then you can pick up the plate and move it, and so that you're able to keep something in place and be able to re-stamp and stamp and stamp and stamp and not have it move around on you. So this is really a neat thing. But this is free to you when you join my group from up until March 2nd. So this is really a nice idea. Okay. So I was thinking about I was so busy working on cards for my card class. I was like, oh my goodness, I haven't even thought of a card to do for tonight's live. Oh my goodness, better get ready and get busy and figure out a card. So I used the Lovely Blossoms again. I love this paper, and I picked a different paper in there to use for tonight's card. I used this other design. I used this other background design for our card tonight. Did a little bit different design. I had a bunch of these already cut out, these blooms and these flowers from my card class. This weekend we're doing a different, entirely different cutout, and I was like, oh, I can use those. So I used these, and I did a whole different layout for today's card. And I decided to do a hello friend, and I have a couple of friends that I can send this to. I haven't really talked to them in a long time, but I used to work with people, and I'm like, oh, this would be super nice to send to them. And inside, I stamped the little stamp on the inside. Now, I got this from, who was her name? The idea, I actually tweaked it a little bit, and I did my own little thing. She used in this little Lovely Blossoms. This paper is so amazing. You get like this sheet that you can cut like these little pieces out And she used this piece and put it on a white. She layered it and put just this piece. You can do that with any of these squares and put it on your card, which is amazing in itself as well. All these pieces you can do that with, these little squares. And then this is the back side, and you can use that back side. So it comes with 2 of these sheets. But I decided I was going to make my own. So I kind of just did my own, and I kind of redid it a little bit as well. So I cased it a little bit from her. I used kind of her idea, and I give her credit. What did I do with my paper? Her name is, she is Creative Stamping Designs is her, like, that's what her business name is, and her name's Karen. So I kind of used a little bit of her idea, and what I did was I changed this whole part up here, so I used a little bit of her idea. She used on the inside cloud cover and then a white piece, and I changed it. I know it's way out of my colors, isn't it? But I liked it. I changed it on the inside on the next card because it's called monochromatic when you do color on color. So I decided to give it a little pop on the next one. So I kind of changed that. And I did decide to go outside my comfort zone. I did like this paper, but I was not sure I wanted to work with it. And that's why I picked it, because it is not in my color wheel. So I kind of did go outside my color zone. So I chose this strip to go on the envelope instead of this on the envelope. So I did do a little bit different. So yes, I know, kind of different, huh? Okay, so this color, this blue is actually very pretty. I just don't work with it very much. And it's called Cloud Cover. It's so hard to say. But this is your basic piece. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And you just fold that and get those edges. I did not cut that very squarely, but and just fold that nicely. Give that a nice crease to that. And set that aside. And as you know, when I do a piece for my envelope, I like to glue this on so that it dries. Now, when I did a card for this before, I used this color. This is so amazing, and I used Secret Sea as my background. So this is I use Secret Sea, and I think this is not Flirty Flamingo, but I use this one. So on the opposite side is this green one, which is very pretty. So I'm going to glue this on. And I had very little of this left. I actually had to order some more because in card class, we are using this piece. So I was like, oh my goodness, I don't have enough of this. All right, so we're going to get that drying. I like that to dry so that I can cut that. Oh, and I had the kiddos one day last week, and Haley made the cutest Valentine's Day card. She loves to make cards. My granddaughter absolutely loves to make cards, and so she made a card. It was amazing. All right, so I'm going to do some stamping before I put anything together. This is the inside piece This white piece is 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to stamp the little, we can't see. Is that going to show? There it is. That's the little flower. And I'm going to stamp that on the inside. And then we're going to color it. And because I'm going to color it, you could probably stamp it in Secret C, but it's best to stamp in black. So the black doesn't fade, bleed, excuse me, it doesn't bleed. So I usually don't, unless you're going to stamp light colors. I don't like to stamp anything if you're going to color it with our blends other than black. So I'm going to stamp down here in the corner. I think people have stamped in other of our colors and they've been okay and it doesn't bleed through. I just don't like to take a chance. So what I did was I pulled the dark cloud cover and I'm going to just come in here, and Stampin' Up! Does a nice job of just making these little wispy lines, and that's what I'm going to color. I'm just going to take and I'm just going to follow these wispy lines, and I'm going to just give it some color. That's it. That's all I'm going to do is I'm going to just give it some color. That's it. I'm not going to color in it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to go over the lines, fatten it, and do that. That's it. That's all the color. And you want to hear that click when you close them so that they don't dry out as fast. Then I'm going to take this dark Darling Duckling and I'm going to color the center. Now, you can color the center any color you want. Some people have colored the center the same with the same dark cloud cover or the light one. It doesn't really matter. I just think that a yellow center, I don't know, I just think it looks better with a yellow center, but it's your card. You can color it any color you want to color it. This gives it some color. All right. So now what I did was, instead of going with the monochromatic like I did with this one, so this one, I put cloud cover on top of cloud cover. I decided to go with Old Olive. So I'm going to put this is going to go on inside. So now I'm going to put that on the inside. So we can go ahead and glue that. And that will be on my inside. And this piece right here is 4 by 5 1/4, which is our normal size that we would put on the inside of a card. The Old Olive is. So we have to make this white piece a little bit smaller so that we can layer it. So we're going to just make this nice and layered. Okay, trying to make it as even as we can. Now this will layer on the inside like normal. So go ahead and glue that. I opened this glue today, and so I didn't want it to go glopping on me, so I hadn't turned it upside down yet. But now it looks like I can do that. Okay. So that's quite the contrast, but I wasn't sure. I just felt like you can either contrast it, because that is in this paper. So see, that is in the paper. Or you can monochromatic it like this one. So see the difference? can just hide it, and it can just be white, and it can just go in there. I just thought that I opened that up and I'm like, yeah, you don't see it. So yeah, it is. But I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I want to have some layers. I don't know. So this one I decided to do just a little bit different. All right. So this piece, it is very pretty. I did really like this, and it is outside my color box. This piece is cut 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and it's designed to just barely be on here. I mean, it's gonna just like barely be on here. And I debated if I was, oh, good, thanks. So they both look good. It's just preference, I suppose. I mean, you could do either one, but I just thought I'd just give one of them a little bit different. I debated if I wanted to cut. Normally on the outside, we do 4 by 5 1/4, and that's typically the size. So this is a little bit bigger, and it's just going to kind of be on here. And so you just kind of gives you just a little bit of an edge on here, and then you have a bigger space. And what that does is it gives you more of the design. If I had cut it shorter to be the 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 by 4, sorry, you wouldn't see quite as much of the design. So you would see more of the cloud cover. Again, a personal preference. So I left it that way. So I think actually because we have so much on there, we do need to have more of this pretty paper on there. It's to showcase the designer series paper. So, and this is the other side of that. So I think it's petal pink is what it's called. Whew. It's a little gloppy. All right, let's see if we can get this without being too gloppy on here. And it's so close to the edge. I mean, it's literally, yep. Okay. Another reason I like green glue is because then you can move it around a little bit. See, I still got it a little too high, I think. All right. That's where it's liking to sit. So that's just about where it's going to be. Okay. It's not quite as even as I liked it, but oh well. And then I put this piece on. And this piece is 1 1/4 by 5. Oops, turn it over so I don't put the wrong piece on. And I just guesstimated. I literally just guesstimated where I wanted to put it. Okay. Now I took a piece of the clover, oh my goodness, cloud cover. I want to call it clover something. Cloud cover. And this is 3 by 4. And then this white piece is 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. And then I embossed it with the embossing folder that's part of this suite, and it's the Lovely Stripes Embossing Folder. And again, I turned it this way instead of turning it this way. The embossing folder comes this way. Let me show you. Well, you can, it comes in anyway. I mean, the embossing folder, obviously. You can turn it however you want. But see, when you put it in, you put the piece of paper in. Let me show you. Usually the line is right here, the Stampin' Up! Line. And typically when you use the embossing folder, you take your piece of paper that you're going to emboss and you line it up with the Stampin' Up! Line right there. And then you close it on there. And then you take and you run the edge with the fold in the embossing machine and you emboss it. Well, if you see that the lines are running this way, and I didn't want my lines to run that way, you can. This is just, I don't have OCD, but this was just a preference. Because my card is going up and down, I wanted my lines to go this way. So I turned my paper this way, put my folder in this. You still have to put your folder so that the crease goes in the machine this way. Otherwise you will ruin your embossing folder. It just means you put your paper in a different way. So instead of putting my paper this way, I put my paper this way and ran it through. All right. So now I have my paper going up and down. Just, you can run it however you want. I just had this weird, I did it with another, I showed you guys with another one that I did the same thing. I just wanted it going up and down. It would look fine going this way. I just did it just because. All right, so now I'm going to actually glue this on. And then I'm going to build my flowers. Actually, I'm going to color my flowers and then I'm going to build my flowers. All right, so it's really hard to glue this on, but you do want to use glue so that it gets in there. And it's mostly because I picked the way that I put it on there. So we just make sure we have some glue on there. And I just find it easier if I, sometimes I couldn't get the other one straight either. And so it was all crooked. It definitely looked crooked on my, all right, that's as close as I'm going to get it. At least it's not crooked. The other one was crooked. So, all right. Okay. So let's stamp this. I cut this out also. The die set has this little stamp here. Exactly. You can do whatever you want. It's your cards. You can make it however you want. So this die makes this, which fits perfectly this thing. So I liked that. So I did Hello Friend, and I did stamp it in the Secret C. There is Secret C in here. So I did stamp it on there in Secret C. I did like that. It just gives it a little bit different coloring. All right. Okay, so now we're going to color our flowers. What I did, So they tell us do everything in threes. I guess that just draws the eye to everything. So I did one like half. It's not really a half flower, but a littler flower, and then a full flower, 2 full flowers. It's just that's what I had left over. So hopefully I didn't miscount, or I'll have to be doing more Saturday. I did the same thing that I did on the inside of the card. I took my cloud cover and I just drew on here these little wispies. You could also color if you want. You could color halfway, you could color all the way, you could do anything. Again, this is your card. You can do whatever your heart desires. So and then I did the center. Someone told me, I don't know who, someone told me flowers are not flat. So I was like, you're right, because I put them down flat on one thing and I had already had it all down, and I was like, oh man, I forgot to make them not flat. So they got glued flat. So someone said a long time ago when I was making flowers and doing things, so I had heard someone say in a video, flowers are not flat. They are correct. Flowers, if you look at them out in the universe, they're not flat. So to make your flowers not flat, just take your bone folder or anything. You can even do them with your fingers if you want to. I mean, if you can just crease them with your fingers, literally. Just it's just easier if you have some kind of object like a bone folder or anything. Just what you're doing is you're just making the tips of them just come up so that they're literally not flat. I mean, and you can do them how much you want or how little you want. But see, now when it sits, it's not flat. So I was like, oh my goodness, you're right. Yeah, it gives it character now. I was like, oh my goodness, that is so right. So yeah. Just makes all the difference in your flower to not be flat. Who would have known, huh? Someone smarter than me. All right. Now, what I didn't do with the first one was I should have glued all of this. So I put some glue on all the flowers. Okay, so I kind of put this on here like this and said, okay, this is kind of how I want this. But I forgot this. So yes, I do want this up a little bit more. Oh my goodness, really? It's just not. Right, that's what I should have done, and I did not. I also, when these are wet, I did stick these in here to see where I wanted them to go. However, I did not do a very good job. Yeah, that looks much better. Okay, so that's what I kind of want. That's kind of how I want it. And I'm going to pop this up, but this is where I want this to go. That's much better. Much, much better. Okay, so now I want glue on all of that, and I want this popped up. So actually, I'm going to pop this up first so I can start by knowing where everything else will go. Live and learn. You know, that's the one thing about making a card. Kind of just go with it. All right, so I want this to be kind of at the edge. All right. So then what I think I want to do is I want to leave my leaves there. And I want this one in a little bit more, I think. So actually, I think I'm going to put a little bit of, that's what I'm going to do. A little bit of glue on my leaves. I'm going to build it backwards. Okay. Hope this works. Hope this one works better than my first one. All right. I think our flowers work around that, hopefully. All right, now let's put some glue on my flower. All right, I'm not going to really put that down until I know that this is where I want it to lay. All right. See if this worked, if this magic worked. Yep, you're moving around. Quit moving, quit moving, quit moving. Pretty much worked. All right. Okay. That did work a little bit better. Settle all that in. I could have moved that up a little bit, but that's okay. It all looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to use my dimensionals and put that on my card. Actually worked pretty good. All right. I do like that a little bit better. Okay, now we're going to kind of center it, top, bottom, side, as much as we can. And it's stuck, so that's where it's going to sit. Oh, yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay. Next thing, we're going to put on these Moody Palette Glossy Dots. This also came with the whole suite. So I'm going to pick the green. I think that is going to go very nicely. And I'm going to put them down here. All right. There is our card. Oh, let's get our envelope and cut the edges off. So my granddaughter Haley even cut out an envelope. She made the cutest card. Oh my goodness. So I had a card kind of pre-made. She did the hugs card, but she put different. We did one at card class, and it was the one with the bear hugs. And she put a different DSP, and she made it just a little bit different, and she made it her own. And oh my goodness, it was the cutest card. She does a very good job making cards. So here's the inside, which is very cute. I like that. The outside came out much better by doing it my other way. Not that this one's bad. I just kind of put the hello, it hung on. This one could have been moved over just a teensy bit. Either way. And the inside is fine too. So either one is good. So either one, or just, but I like it. I think it turned out nice. I like how it turned out. I like having the actual flowers cut out. What is this? Oh, who liked their cards? Oh, I had their cards sitting on my desk, and I did not give them to them because I had the kiddos, and off I walked, and I left them on my desk. So I'll have to give them to them later when I see them again, because today they didn't have school, so I didn't have them today. So yeah. I know I clicked the wrong button, and all of a sudden I went away. Something popped up on my screen, and then I went away. Yeah, so I had Garrett, and then I had to go run him home, and then I left my cards on my desk, and I forgot them. So yeah, I have them still. So hopefully tomorrow I'll remember to give them to them. They'll be late, but they'll hopefully get them. But yeah. All right. Well, here, these are very nice cards. Hopefully I can get those sent out. I'm bad at sending cards. I make them, but I have a bunch. Anyways, if you need anything, feel free to give me a shout. card classes this Saturday. If you're not signed up and you want to, let me know. I still do have a couple slots. I am working at getting all the prep work done, so let me know soon. Otherwise, I will see you. Oh, will I see you next Monday? Yes, I will see you next Monday. It's the following Monday because we'll be coming home from Disneyland. So I will see you next Monday, and you have a great evening. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye bye.